Yeah, hi, everyone. What up? I'm Tracey. She's Carol, and we are really just not even knowing what to do with ourselves, my Outlander Purgatory, and about to make the shortest video ever, because we're just going to go back in our holes and,
We have left purgatory and entered hell.
I don't even know. This video is going to be so unentertaining, you guys.
I'm sorry.
I'm telling you. Well, all right, Carol, what are you drinking this evening? I was saying we needed something stronger. I definitely needed something stronger. So I too have the Shardy, but tonight I brought the entire bottle upstairs, and just in case I needed more, I have this mezcal that we bought in Mexico. I have a little leftover amaretto, and I have this Costco bottle of tequila.
I
might need it,
I was drinking this while watching with Tom just now for the third time. My plan was to have scotch. I like to have scotch while we're doing this, but I'm exhausted. My brain is exhausted. I just can't even think.
You've watched this 3 times? Oh my god, I've watched it 1 3/4. Which might as well be 2 because the last quarter, like, who gives shit?
1.
Oh, 2. You guys, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look who is driving this
3.
train tonight.
I would say 3.5, but now I penciled in so much stuff while I was watching again that I'm going to make that an even 4.
Oh my god. Oh my god. All right, so...
yeah, let's just get going and I don't want to make this long because I'm so grossed out. I don't want to give that sadistic piece of filth one more second.
Okay, here's what I have to discuss. Now, we love on Starz. They're great. They're awesome. And like their marketing and stuff has been a lot of fun in the various weeks of the show. I gotta say that this week with the whole hashtag Blackjack is back, like, yeah, no, sorry guys. And I mean, as a book reader, I knew it was coming and I knew how bad it was going to be. And so that hashtag was just, I felt it was like really trite and
you're glib, Lowry. You're glib.
What? Did you call something? What did you just say?
When you just said it was, when you just said it was trite, it just reminded me of Tom Cruise calling Matt Lauer glib. I don't know.
No, it was like, yeah. I was like, really? Like, yes, it's a TV show. Yes, it's not real, but like, just a little too glib. Glib is a good word as well. If you want to go hashtag, like, F you mofo.
Listen,
Blackjack.
They are appealing to the television watching audience. They're not appealing to the book readers. They're not appealing to, you know what I'm saying? So,
I guess, but like,
I'll tell you what. I know a guy named Tom who thought this episode was fantastic. So
it was.
Tom is really the type of audience member they're trying to speak to in something like that, like, because they really like this kind of stuff.
Because he's a guy and he likes, like, action movies.
I don't want to be that stereotypical and say he's a guy, but because I loved this episode. I did.
Yeah. Let's talk about it in a general sense. Like,
I loved this episode. It's so emotionally draining that I need like a week away in Cabo or something.
I know. Well, just in case, I have mezcal from Mexico, in case I didn't mention it. All right,
so really, we're going on and on. I think we're getting a little long. We're getting a little winded. So let's just long-winded.
Overall, in terms of just like a piece of television, filmmaking, whatever. I mean, it was great. And we'll get into the whole, I mean, my overarching question, my big question for the
Your
hour
overarching question
is really I just got to a certain point where I was like, is this necessary to see? And we will debate that because...
Girl, do you think you're not going to see more? Did you see Diana's post today?
No. I've been so busy at work. My life this week...
Okay. Your life is busy this week. She posted about this article that Julia sent to me the other day, and it was from E! Online from, oh gosh, what's her name? Dos Santos.
Oh, Kristen?
Yes.
Who's really funny.
And Diana said, I forget what she said, something about people think, okay, good, episode 15, got it all over with. If you think you got it all over with,
you didn't.
With episode 15, you're nuts.
I don't want to spoil anything, but
it's going to get worse.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
So there you go.
It's not going to be good. But anyway, all right, so...
Easter egg. The mask. Thoughts? Because I have thoughts, and I just want to know. Do you have any?
I'll tell you what I wrote down, and I apologize now for any language. I think one of these days,
is going to be full of language.
One of these days, we're going to get on iTunes. We just need to figure out how to do it. But Carol found a really easy way, so maybe even this weekend I'll try to figure out how to get us on iTunes. But this episode is going to have one of those little E's next to it all over the place because my notes, the very first note, I have episode 115. Who wrote? You're gonna yell at me and whatever. I don't care. Who wrote this episode? Do we know?
You're supposed to ask me that before we hit record.
I know. I forgot. Here. You know what? I'll figure it out. But anyway. Because I like to at least know it was Anna Forster that directed it. I know that.
I'm going with Thomas Harris on this one.
If you don't know who that was, look it up. Don't even say. Look it up. Wikipedia. That's really funny. Oh my God.
Because we're going to be quoting some Thomas Harris as we go along.
Oh my God, that was awesome. Oh, it's Ira Stephen Bear. Okay.
All right, let me finish with saying what I'm saying. Okay. And I knew that, P.S.
Let me just interject. It's Ira Stephen Bear, who I believe also wrote The Garrison Commander, my favorite episode of the season.
He did.
Yeah.
Because I saw that the other day and I was like, Tracey is going to die because he wrote The Garrison Commander.
And FYI to Ira Stephen Bear,
you're a freak.
Be just a little afraid to land in a dark alley with you, Ira Stephen Bear. Not so much because you'd really hurt me, but you just say really scary things, and I would be afraid.
Okay, I have Easter egg, horrific medieval torture devices, and the mask. To me, I saw that mask, and all I could think of was Blackjack Randall's face, Frank Randall's face.
You think? I mean, I hear you. I wasn't really getting a Frank vibe from that whole thing.
Not getting a Frank vibe, but first of all, Tom, my husband, out of the blue, this evening, came from nowhere. We weren't talking Outlander, and what does he say? I miss Frank. I'm like, holy crap. I mean, he has read up through Voyager and will continue, whether he knows it or not. But I mean, out of the blue, I miss Frank. So that just, to me, I'm telling you right now, that's what I saw. I saw that mask, and I thought, almost like Jekyll and Hyde. You know what I mean? And like Tom said, you miss him. I miss Frank. I don't miss book Frank. I miss TV Frank.
I do miss him, but it made me think just more like Darth Vader or whatever. But all I really saw was, and I did wonder what that mask was for, because I don't think that it sort of came into view or anything in the episode, but it was just Chandelier of Pain. some sort of like medieval freak chandelier of pain. That's what I thought.
Okay. Let's begin.
Okay.
And I even did the scenes. I should highlight the scenes because you're always like, wait a minute, we're not in that scene. The gallows.
Mm-hmm.
We begin with the feet. Standing there. Okay. Commentary between Jamie and Taryn McQuarrie. Interesting that Jamie is the one with the dark view of the world. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
And then I have dark or realistic because I get accused of being glass half empty sometimes by the aforementioned hubby, but I see it as I am a realist to the end. So I really truly feel like Jamie Fraser is
you know what? Ron Moore says Fraser, so you're
I
forgiven.
can't help it. 5-6 years of saying Fraser. What am I supposed to do? Honest to God, like I've always felt like that. He's just a realist. He calls it like he sees it. You know what I mean?
Mm. I thought McQuarrie was really like cynical. His view of the world, I thought.
Well, it was sort of.
I mean, like if you're in line, if you're like third in line for the gallows, I guess you kind of have a reason to be cynical about the world.
But it was like packaged in this, as you would say, tied up with a pretty red bow.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was all it was so raw when he admitted, like, I'm not looking forward to this, but they're never gonna know that. And then when he got up and started that commentary about the last thing I'm gonna see is your pasty English faces.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, he was great. He was great.
Ill thought. I was like, I could totally feel that. Like, oh my God. All right, then I have James.
Well, wait. I have to interject something.
I'm not going forward. I'm going backwards, actually.
Okay.
Jamie should have gone through with his plan to grab the musket. Betty could have escaped. I feel like Jamie can do anything. Jamie can do it. Taryn, damn it. You should have just let Jamie do what he wanted to do, and you'd be out of there, buddy. Why can't the Leoc guys be there to watch this hanging? Isn't it interesting that the flogging was like the whole town is there?
Well, because that was at Fort William, right? And I think Fort William is a lot more local. I get the sense that Wentworth Prison is not,
that it's closed to the public.
That it's closed to the public, but also that it's not, next door.
It's like Graterford.
It's like Fort William is Rahway State Prison, but like Wentworth is like, I don't know, Fort Knox or what. I don't even know. I don't know federal prisons, but
you never see anyone. It's like that prison in Warren down the street from the mall.
One thing I thought was interesting about that scene, I really kind of liked the redcoats in that. Like the two guys who were like filling out the paperwork. If you watch them really closely. Like,
besides the fact that one of them was really cute.
It wasn't Johnny, not Lord John Redcoat, but it could have been. No, I thought they're really young, and they seemed kind of uneasy. Like they were, you could tell they were uncomfortable with what they were doing.
Oh yeah.
But it's following orders. Like that's what they have to do. And just like this whole idea of that they're like hanging like 30 dudes. I mean, it felt really like.
And for what?
Yeah, you don't even know. And I'm thinking like, boy, Jamie really did have a price on his head. Like all this roaming around that he was doing all this the rest of this time. Like, man, I would have really like stayed at Leoc and hid out in a closet or something. I mean, he like really, because the thing is that I sort of forgot. Like it's not like Blackjack doesn't have anything to do with the fact that he's about to hang. Like they brought him in. He had escaped, so I'm sure they weren't very happy with him anyway. They brought him into Wentworth. They're like, yeah, you have a price in your head. You killed a redcoat guy. Done. Die. That's it. Bye. And Blackjack had nothing to do with that. And Blackjack, as we saw, like delayed it for a little bit.
Okay, may we move on to that?
I just have to say, the neck cracking sounds, whoever's the sound effects people, really great, because it was just disgusting. And
poor Taryn, like, is that his name, Taryn?
Taryn McQuarrie.
McQuarrie, like, fought till, and I watched it with Shannon, And Shannon was going, he's a fighter. Look at him, he's a fighter. Because he was not going down easy.
Well, I don't know that it was that he's a fighter or that he didn't like fall right. And it didn't like land where it needed to land. So he was fighting or he was like still alive and, like drowning.
Yes. Loved his commentary to the Redcoats and loved Jamie's face, the look on Jamie's face when Taran was saying he wished he had been a patriot. And Jamie was like, yeah.
And I just kept thinking Ned Stark. Isn't that weird? Like, as they're leading Jamie up to the thing, I'm like, this is Ned Stark,
Ned Stark really did have some Jamie Fraser qualities.
Yes, I completely agree.
I am Eddard Stark, Lord of Winterfell, and Hand of the King.
Lord of mercy on Ned Stark.
I know. All right.
Okay, so Blackjack Randall, I have creepiest part of the show. Blackjack Randall riding in like an effing knight in shining armor to save Jamie.
I know. That is really creepy.
And I have the look on his face as Jamie, like they took Jamie down because he said, stop the execution. And they took Jamie down and Jamie passed by him and Jamie was like, and Blackjack had this look on his face that I didn't know. I was like, is that lust? Is it desire? I couldn't even, he was like, you know what I mean? It was a creep show. It was perfection.
It was kind of like, this is going to be good. This is going to be good.
I'm trying so hard not to just launch into like the massive all hail Tobias diatribe, so I'm trying really, really hard.
Oh, I'll do it. I mean, he's so great. He's so
honestly,
great.
Tobias Menzies, I want to thank you because the mind-blowing act that was going on, not that Sam and Kate weren't holy mother of God amazing. Mm-hmm. It's just that Tobias Menzies is so fascinating to watch.
Yes. Yes.
That he got me through this episode because I didn't, there were a couple times that I would tear up or that whatever, but I wasn't able to lose myself in the horrificness of what was going on.
Right.
Because I was
he was so interesting to watch.
It was so interesting to watch him that I was just, and then I felt guilty. I felt guilty for not like I'd miss a scene, and I watched it 3 times, and I would miss it, and then go, oh, I didn't pay enough attention to that part with Jamie and the look on his face, and oh my God. Anyway.
I mean, with a different actor, he would be like just like one level and just a villain, just a bad guy, and it's so much because of all the levels he's putting out there. It's really easy to see like. I mean, there's so much sadism going on here, right? That it would be very easy to just, he's a monster.
Right.
Well, you can see that to him, he's not.
Right. Right.
Yeah, he's just incredibly interesting to watch. But that said, he is kind of a monster.
Yes.
All right, so
Jamie in the cell, he gets the dinner.
Then we see Claire in. Did I miss something, or is the next is Claire in Fletcher's office?
Yeah, who's leading this conversation?
Oh, go ahead.
Sir Fletcher's office. Okay, now I have to admit there were parts of this episode that I couldn't remember the way it was done exactly in the book.
Oh, I have to say, let me just say, like honestly, other than the Macquarie stuff, which was new, shot for shot. Shot for shot.
I said that to Tom at one point. I was like, you remember this, right? It was in the book. It was very, very much the book. So I was so impressed with them that they could do that they were able to really, anyway.
The cell was a little different. Like, I thought for some reason, not like I didn't think it was in the prison, because I did, but I thought that the cell was maybe a little, like, I thought maybe there was a fireplace there, or, like, a little more comfortable. There
was. I'm sure there was.
For some reason.
There's something else, but I'm going to not say it because I think it could be next week.
Okay. But honestly, shot for shot from the book.
Okay. So here's the deal. Why did she say that she was like a distant, not relation, but like she was a friend of the family?
Because she couldn't say that she's his wife because,
Why?
I think there probably wouldn't mind getting their hands on her.
Because of the
say,
whole
like,
I'm traveling. Wait,
she just said I'm a friend. What?
because of the whole she's afraid they're gonna think she's a spy and Randall hates her and all that.
No. I
Then
don't
why
think
they
I don't
want
think
to
they
get
would
hands on
give
her?
her. What? Oh.
Why are they going to want to get their hands on her?
No. Oh, I thought I was echoing. Because. Oh, why are they going to want to get their hands on her? Because they probably know that she escaped Fort William with Jamie too.
Okay.
I mean, I think
And what happened in the book?
Jamie Fraser is an outlaw. He's got a price on his head. I think that's a time too that if you're ever playing the Outlander drinking game, you have to drink whenever somebody says like he or I've got a price on my head. Like that's a line you have to drink on. But anyway, because
that and I'm trying to get my husband.
But no, I think if she said she was like a friend or something, like they'd be like, yeah, well, who cares? We're not helping you. But to say I'm a family member, it's like when you go to the hospital. It's like
she said
family
she was a friend
members
of the family.
What?
She didn't say she was a family member. She said she was a friend of the family.
No, I thought she said she was a distant relation.
She said they had like a distant. I took it to mean that she was a friend of the family.
No, I think she said she was a distant relation because I remember thinking to myself, because he does say like, oh, someone of your breeding, I'm surprised is, or he made a comment about a connection between her of such fine breeding and like the, low class Scot or whatever.
Why are you hanging with these low class Scots?
Right. But I thought she said, I mean, I could be wrong, but I thought she said that she was like a distant relation. But that's why I thought that she had to say that because, you have to be like a blood tie to like get any sort of, to have a good shot at it. But
right.
You don't want to be too close because, you don't want to put your own family in danger or whatever.
Her, like when he got up and left the room.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Yes!
She had these tears and it wasn't loud, but it was these quiet little sobs that just, you could totally put yourself in her position and say, if he left the room, I would do the exact same thing. But then she had to like dry it up within seconds because he came back.
But it was before he came back.
That's what I said.
Like, what?
That's what I said.
No, you said when he came back.
She had to dry it up because he was coming back.
But not like at that moment. She knew. She's like, get yourself together, Claire, because
I have making an effort to dry it up. Very heartbreaking.
Yeah. No, but you're right. She like totally breaks down, then steals herself, and by the time he comes back, she's back to being normal.
Right.
Or, looking normal, whatever.
Right. Her coming out of the prison.
Oh, no. Can I wait? Because I did take some notes. Just when he hands her the personal facts.
Oh, you're right. I missed something. Go ahead.
The personal facts.
Oh, that still the personal effects? And all I could think of was like, I always see Jamie as like a marble from the Sporran.
I actually freeze framed the shot to see if I could see what was in it.
Well, Claire, at one point it's described.
Well, in the book it is, yeah. But I wanted to see what was in the TV show.
But it wasn't that scene. It wasn't prison, was it? When she described what was in his Sporran?
She always describes it as Sporran.
I think he dumped his Sporran out on the table, and it was so cute. It was like a little boy with a slingshot and his marbles.
Well, I saw he has like fishing line. I couldn't tell if Sawney was in there or not. I thought maybe he was. I think he had, what did you have in there, Pocket Jamie? Is that Sawney in your pocket, or are you just happy to see it? Did he have his rosary, the black rosary beads? I
didn't freeze frame it. I don't know. I'll have to go back and look.
I thought so. So if whoever like freeze framed it, put in the comments what it was. But yes, that was just devastating.
And I forgot that at one point I wonder if it would be better for Claire. Remember I was just saying to tell the truth. and tell Jeffrey Rush, a.k.a. Sir Fletcher. He totally gave me Jeffrey Rush.
I see Jeffrey Rush from him.
Did you see that a little bit? Still don't know why she did. Okay. And then I have personal effects made me cry. And that's because I wrote stuff in pencil in here. I have arrows. I mean, holy crap.
So proud of your notes. You're so proud of your notes.
I'm so proud of my notes.
I love when she came out of the prison.
Claire audibly crying and vomiting.
The vomiting was awesome.
Well, because that's what you would do.
You would. At that point, she's like, he's dead.
Yeah, at that point, you would be so overwhelmed with grief of what is happening to him, and you don't know. At this point, she doesn't know what's happening. She can't find him. She knows he's in this godforsaken place. I mean, it's just awful.
I know.
So she comes out and she gets sick. I have absolutely one of the most powerful things I've ever seen on screen. And then I know what happens, yet I'm sharing her devastation just watching it, which is really a tribute to Katrina Balfe. I'm sorry.
I mean, like, the acting in this whole episode, like, to a person was just, like, fabulous.
So fabulous. And I always say about the books that because they're written from the first person, I'm always like, yeah, and then I was so mad at Jamie. I mean, Claire was so mad at Jamie because you really put yourself. I love first person because I can just lose myself in this. Mm-hmm. And I felt like I'm losing myself in it still, even though I'm watching it, because Katrina Balfe is like just totally, it's coming across how you would feel if you were going through this. That was absolutely fantastic. And then I did make a point that of writing down that it's not like the books, not that I care, but she is a little bit more, I almost would say human. It's so interesting to me, like the dynamic, like thinking about these authors and writing these books, they have to keep your attention, they have to keep it up, but you're reading a book, you're not seeing it. Mm-hmm. So they really have to, and I have written down, here we go again with, it's different from the Slate Sookie Stackhouse. But like in the books, she's not breaking down and she's so, let's go get him. But in this, you're seeing this human side of her because you're not feeling what she's feeling in the books. You know what I mean? But watching this, you're feeling what she's feeling while she's in there with him. Mm-hmm. And then how about Murtaugh picking?
See, that was the part for me that was like, I thought she was great, and the throwing up was very realistic. But when Murtaugh just picked her up, I was like,
oh my God. I felt like their not relationship.
Partnership.
Their bond was solidified right then and there.
Yes.
Totally.
Completely. Like, I think that, if something were to happen to Jamie, I mean, who knows what Claire would do, but Murtaugh would be her protector.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Gambling in the pub.
Oh, just so funny.
And I can't remember if I didn't remember that scene from the book. I was trying to remember.
I mean, I don't know that. I mean, I don't know if you see it there. I think maybe you just hear about it later. But yeah, basically, like, and it's not Angus because of course Angus isn't there. It's like Rupert and the lads, just like play dice or whatever with these dudes from Wentworth, and they find out they get this intel. Yeah.
And so fantastic that we don't know, so we're like pissed off at them. Like, geez, you asses.
I also was like, Murtaugh's not in on this plan, really? He doesn't see what's up, because Murtaugh's all like,
You know what? They are so
And Willie wasn't in on the plan?
They're comic relief.
They're totally comic relief. Again, then I said that from the very beginning. That's why Angus is a part of this, when he wasn't a part of this in the books, because Rupert needs someone to play off of.
They need the banter back and forth.
Yep, that's why. That's why. And it was very smart. At the coming into the show, I was like, what? Angus? Like, what do you mean? But no, it was a good decision. It works really well. I think it's funny that Angus, in some ways, is actually funnier than Rupert. And in the books, Rupert's a really funny guy.
Yes, and I have to say, once again, here we go with The Quiet Man, reminding me of The Quiet Man. Have you ever seen The Quiet Man?
No. I know. I think we have this in every video. Here's how it goes, you guys. And then in The Quiet Man. Have you ever seen The Quiet Man? No.
Just shows you my memory.
Here's me.
Okay. Do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. It's 2 hours. It's an hour and a half. Watch The Quiet Man. Like,
I'll put it on my list.
Take the 2 hours and watch The Quiet Man. But just the cute little, one of them says, the warden, and she says, Sir Fletcher. And he says, the very man. It is so Michelin. It is so The Quiet Man. I swear I watch these and I go, somebody over there at Outlander saw The Quiet Man.
I also loved when Murtaugh was like, when Rupert was being all wise-assy, and Murtaugh's just like, you know, and like threw water all over them.
Threw water. I really was shocked that.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah. And is it weird that I'm on episode 15 and I'm still like, why isn't he Rupert and why isn't he Angus?
That was pretty funny, and then we never laughed again.
We're headed right straight into the monster. This is like the perfect storm.
It's the perfect storm.
Somebody get George Clooney on the phone and tell him to look at his backs.
What the hell are you trying to prove? Come on, you seen the forecast?
I got $250,000 worth of fish.
Weather's been spitting faxes every hour. They're running out of scary words.
Totally.
Jamie Sell, meet Marley.
Oh my god! Oh my god! It's not your father's Marley and Me, people.
But he's not.
But they do call him Dog.
I was picturing him like, I want to say Chunk, but that's not the right guy.
It's like the evil Hodor.
I was picturing him like completely, like worse than he was in the show. He was just sort of like, he didn't say much. Yeah. Like, in the book, he's, like, as dim as they come.
No, he's pretty dim in the show. Well, first of all, can I just say, I completely, 100%, totally forgot about Marley. Forgot. So, when Blackjack marches in with Marley, I was like, oh, fuck me. Because I knew...
She cursed again.
I'm sorry.
Am I in the middle, by the way? Because one of our videos last week, I was like...
I don't know. No, because, I mean, I knew what was coming with that one. And I was like, I totally forgot about him.
I did.
And why do I think he was worse in the book? I don't know.
I thought he was more, like I said, that guy in the Goonies.
Chunk.
Who I said Chunk, but wasn't Chunk the kid?
Oh, true that, maybe. No, I don't remember now.
Who was the guy? Was it Chunk?
No, I know who you mean.
The brother who was locked in the basement. That's
yeah.
Who I was picturing Marley.
I don't remember his name, but...
My name's Lawrence. So sometimes people call me Chunk.
But, no, I know who you mean. I was picturing Hodor.
I made the comment back when we went to the premiere of the first ever episode that they got out of the car and I saw Tobias coming and stopped him and said hello. And I remember posting and saying, oh my God, like in person, he's got such eyes, like his eyes like sparkle, whatever. That scene where he is giving the speech to Jamie about how great the signed document is that he burns. Mm-hmm. They had his eyes perfect because he's got those kind of eyes that sparkle, but when you're on camera, unless the light is coming right in, you're not going to be able to tell.
It's all really well lit too. Like all of this production stuff was so great in this episode.
Those of us with brown eyes sort of deal with this. But anyway, I made the point that during that speech, his eyes are wide open and they're glimmering. I mean, I was just, and then I'm like, oh my God, I hate you.
It was just, I mean, I don't even have that much to say about that whole middle section because it's just,
Well, I thought it was perfection. I mean, him talking about that document and him admitting how fantastic it was and that Jamie definitely should have gotten freed and gotten his pardon. And then he went, and threw it in the fire.
No, I gotta say though, even back when that was going on, I mean, did you really buy that was gonna like help him?
Never.
No, because it's like,
Never.
okay, it's not like, it's like today where I'm gonna like send this online to like 17 people. It's like, hey, drunk Duke of Sandringham, mind taking this like 100 miles away to the magistrate? I mean, like, somebody should have taken it there for themselves. I mean, I guess the Duke needed to do it because he needed to, he was like an important person to give it to somebody. But like, that plan had so many flaws in it. I'm sorry, that plan had more flaws in it than Murtaugh's plan about singing Claire last week.
Right.
Which everybody hated. Well, not everybody. A lot of people hated it. Did you know that? I loved it, but I mean, a lot of people hated it. But I have to say, all the people who did not like it are now probably this week like being like, singing Claire, I'm sorry, come back, come back, please, come back,
I'll never let go, Claire.
come back. I'll never let go, Claire.
They hated what? They hated the way it was portrayed.
I was surprised at how many people did not like last week's episode.
Okay.
And I get it. It was just really weird. But, go ahead, what?
They hated that part of the book too, or they only hated the show?
No, they hated that part. They hated that part of the episode because.
But it was in the book. They sang for their supper.
Yeah, but it was like a page and a half in the book. We said this last week. Look, last week we said this is a really bizarre part of the book. I don't know how people are going to feel about it.
They had to jazz it up. It would have been boring if they did it just exactly.
Well, no. I mean, I heard some people say, and this is a point well taken, that it was a half hour that could have been spent somewhere else. And I'll give you that. I mean, to give me back a half hour to make, like for me, the aftermath of the wedding is probably the biggest difficulty that I've had in the whole show, where, the next morning, it's like, they're like, Ricky and Lucy, and Jamie's going off to work and be like, bye, honey, like, have my martini ready when I get home. Rather than that awkwardness that they had in the book that I thought was so real and so good. It was goofy as hell, and I loved every minute of it, and I knew that this was the last time we were gonna laugh. Does anybody remember laughter? We were not going to smile like that again for a long time, and that's why I liked it.
I am going to forget about whatever. I already did forget about whatever I was just going to say. Sir Fletcher's office, the second visit number 2. Claire asking the guard if he wants to take a seat. Were you like, I'm sorry, Claire, what? And then even Murtaugh's like,
I'm sorry, Claire. I'm sorry, Claire, what?
Asking him to sit down. And I loved that Murtaugh was her manservant.
Actually, the look was hilarious. That Murtaugh's like, and Sir Fletcher's like, or no, it was Sir Fletcher's lackey. Sir Fletcher's manservant was like,
yeah.
And Murtaugh was like,
and I felt guilty that it made me laugh too, because it did make me laugh. And then I was like, oh my God, I shouldn't be laughing. And there was a little bit of lighter music that was, lighter anxiety-ridden music that made me feel a little bit better. But next we have Jamie's cell. My God, we have to hurry up. I'm only off. That was page 1. I have 4.
Well, she finds the keys, so off we go. Did you find it believable that Murtaugh let her go by herself?
Yeah, didn't he do that in the book?
He did, but I'm not talking about the book. I'm talking about the TV show.
Well, I guess because I had already seen it in the book, it didn't faze me, and she had great points. Mm-hmm. When she said, "Listen, I can just say I got lost or whatever," then it made sense. It killed me when she looked in there, and big, huge James Alexander Malcolm Mackenzie Fraser is laying in a heap on the floor.
Well, you skipped some stuff.
Did I skip my page?
You skipped.
I skipped the whole page.
Yeah, you skipped.
Sorry, everyone. All right, may I call you Jamie? I care not.
May I call you, douchebag?
Yeah. You can call me whatever the hell you want. And then he's like, "Is it my face you see?"
Oh, that was so creepy.
And I'm like, when you're sleeping.
That was so creepy.
Creepy. And do you believe Blackjack when he says he couldn't save him now, even if he wanted to? Bull crap.
I saved him before.
He could drop him out the little hole.
I don't know. I mean, yes and no. I mean, he gave him a reprieve, but Blackjack's got superiors that we've met, So right. I don't know that he has that much power.
But I found myself wishing Jamie would do some negotiating to keep himself alive. There's a lot of, it's riddled with pride, these scenes, where Jamie's like sitting there, like, I'm sitting there like, oh my God, like, do some fancy footwork, like, say something that's going to make him, you know what I mean? Like, Jamie was not going to budge. He was like, no way, I'm not playing your game, because he hates
That's why, but you just answered your own question. You just answered your own question. That's why he wasn't going to do any fancy footwork, because he's not playing that game.
Yeah, but your dumb ass should play the game, okay? Whenever you see these scenes in any show where somebody's kidnapped and they're dealing with a sociopath and this person is, don't you sit and think, I would say, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just sitting here thinking, okay, he saved you from being hung because he digs your ass. So work with it here. Say some stuff. And this is really going back to the book, I suppose, but come on, man. Don't just sit there and I just wanted him to play the game a little bit, and he just was not going to do it.
Jamie doesn't play the game, Ian Murray.
If Jamie doesn't play the game, Jamie's going to play the gallows.
But Jamie's going to play the gallows anyway, and he knows that. This is not like he's not
like... You say to yourself, Blackjack Randall has a thing for me. He already got me down off the gallows. He's not going to want to see me hang because he likes messing with me too much. I'm going to see if I can get him to keep me around.
No. I never thought that for a million years. Ever. So what are you saying? Like that Jamie should be like, his little toy?
No. You mean sexually?
Yeah. Or like it however he wants.
I guess I see it like the way I would see any show or film when it comes to like a kidnapper or it comes to somebody. I would just try and use words as a weapon just as much as anything else.
I mean, is that really Jamie though?
It's
thing.
Not,
like in any situation. Is Jamie like is one of Jamie's strengths like sweet talking his way out of shit?
I'm not even talking about sweet talking. I'm talking about going one-on-one with this, throwing some stuff back at him. But he was not going to do that. And then I kind of realized he's just keeping his mouth shut and biding his time while he assesses this whole situation.
Exactly.
Yes.
And Blackjack says it later himself, like, if you had given in so easily, I would have been kind of bummed.
He would have been crestfallen.
I know, I love that word. It's not
I was like, I'm going to use that in a sentence 8 times next week. Because that is the best word.
I love that word. That's a good word. That is a good word.
I don't think Diana's ever used crestfallen.
She's used every word there ever was, so I think probably at least once.
Meanwhile, I'm going to have 10 people tomorrow, sending me, comments on the blog saying, Carol, on page 726, Diana said crestfallen.
Because I typed the book myself into my computer so that I could search words.
Okay.
It took me 15 years, but...
I love him saying, why? Do I make you uncomfortable? Let's think about that.
Yeah, Captain Obvious.
And I thought, oh my God, soundbite times 10,000. Do I make you uncomfortable? And then I have, BJR, duh. Like, why? He's like, why? Why do I make you uncomfortable? You're the reason he's here and why he's sentenced to death.
And also, you're a big dish of creep. So,
And how about his fingers from across the room?
Oh, yes! That part was awesome!
But all I could think of was like Second City. Second City, or Kids in the Hall, and this. I crush you. I crush your head.
Your tiny head.
I'm only crushing your heads. Crush you.
Oh my God! No, that was a pretty interesting shot. That was a pretty interesting shot. Ain't gonna lie.
But him pretending to trace from across the room, I have is as creepy as like a spider, creepy chrome.
I know. Creep. Just when you think he can't get creepier.
Right. Now, I don't know what he said or did at this point. He must have asked. Oh, it was when he asked him if he was scared. Like, are you terrified of me right now or whatever? And I have, oh, hell no, Blackjack Randall. Jamie is so not terrified of your dumb ass.
Jamie can kick your ass.
Jamie was not terrified at all. Don't give me terrified, you.
I think he was kind of terrified when I think he got to the point where it wasn't even terrified. It was more just like, I think terrified connotes like a sense of anticipation.
But at this point, he's not terrified, and I have that I hate myself for enjoying the proposal from Blackjack Randall about Jamie picking his own death. I found that fabulous. That whole thing. And then came the gift to the Rome fans.
Oh, God.
He says, you could fall on your sword like Brutus. And I sat right up and went, he played Brutus!
Oh, did he play Brutus? Was that a little like, you could fall on your sword for like Brutus?
Tracey, Rome started it all, okay? So just jump back, man. Rome started it all, and that was a gift to the Tobias Menzies fans from Rome. I truly feel that.
Was it like, you fall on your sword like Brutus on HBO Go? I get residuals if you watch, so.
The show you have just seen can be watched tomorrow.
All right. And you're mixing up all your scenes too, because this is just one big ugly ass scene.
Okay,
I think that's
great
for the first
line.
part. So we're at the part. Well, we're at the part now where Jack. Oh, he's like, "Can I look at your back?" And Jamie was like, "Sure, come look at my back."
I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah, this is because the next thing I have Marley, Hodar's evil twin. Then I have what comes next. I think.
No, you missed stuff. Leading the discussion, number 2. Okay. I will have your surrender before you leave this world.
Yeah, that was creepy.
See, I have it again. Doesn't he get that he could make Randall need him and then he would never kill him?
Didn't you hear a thing Jamie told you 2 or 3 episodes ago? He said it. He told Claire, he was like, yeah, I thought to myself, being buggered, like, it's going to only take a couple minutes, probably going to be hurt less than whatever the hell else he's going to do, the flogging or whatever. Maybe I should just do it. But then I saw my father's face.
First of all, I don't think he was like, yeah, maybe I should do it. And second of all, I know, but I'm not necessarily talking about I'm not saying, oh, Jamie should negotiate and get buggered and get out of there. I'm saying, like, Jamie has the intelligence to go comment for comment, like obnoxious quip for obnoxious quip with Randall. Like, he should just get him talking. I don't know. Like, I just feel like he should.
Well, what's the point? I mean, so what happens then?
The point is to maybe wouldn't he ever stop and think maybe they're trying to rescue me? Like, just stay alive.
He didn't just call 911 and like has to stall for time until they get
fine.
there.
It's called Murtaugh and Angus and Rupert. He knows how they are.
Why do they think he's come? They don't. He doesn't. How would he even think for a second that anyone is coming for him?
Because Claire loves him.
He doesn't even know that they know where he is.
So, stay alive long enough for them to find you.
You and I are going to have to disagree.
Agree to disagree because I just thought that a couple times. Like, dude, talk your way out of this somehow. All right, so just leave it at that.
I think just like you've got Marley standing there, with his like dumb, fists and.
Okay. You keep telling me, oh, come on, you're missing all the stuff. Well, guess what? You missed Sir Fletcher's office again. When
we talked about it. Claire found the keys.
Murtaugh kills the guard.
Yeah, that was when Claire found the keys.
I went in order. I am following.
He doesn't kill the guard. He just knocks him out.
So you went backwards and did this scene first. Because this scene came after I will have your surrender before you leave this world.
Right.
Claire gets the keys. Good plan on Claire's part about lying. You mentioned that about how she says, I can lie and just say while I'm down there. How did you like Claire roaming the hallways? That's where I have Silence of the Lambs much. I'll help you catch him, Clarice. I think I see Miggs. Have the lambs stopped screaming? Remember when she's running around down there and she asks prisoners, have you seen Jamie?
Yeah, but it was a little Silence of the Lambsy from when, like, they were taking Clarice in the first time and all the creepy prisoners were, like, creepy and stuff.
And I think I see Miggs.
That was a little creepy. I'm still trying to figure out where the hell we are in the sequence because you were the one that was like, and then she saw Jamie and it was so sad. That's like half hour from now.
I know because I jumped to the next, I told you, I jumped to the next page. And then went, oh, never mind, go back.
All right, all right. So she's roaming the halls now. Okay, good.
What?
She's roaming the halls. We're good.
She's roaming the halls. She sees and hears Miggs in the background going, That's what made me think of it. Yeah. I like the guy that's like, yeah, try downstairs, because that's where they take everyone who Blackjack Randall saves and they don't get hung.
I have to open a window.
And then I have Jamie's calculating his next move through this entire ordeal. Just because he's not begging, and then in parentheses I have never. Like he'll never beg. Negotiating or talking doesn't mean he's not plotting. Correct?
I think I would not use the words negotiating or plotting. And I think to a certain degree, he is like when Blackjack was like, "Can I see your scars?" You would think that Jamie up to this point has been like, basically F you, F you, F you, F you. Now he's like, yeah, if it'll shut you up, fine, whatever.
Because he's
got a plan.
He's
planning.
What is he doing? He's plotting. He's plotting.
Say it with me. He's plotting.
I am plotting while he is plotting.
I am plotting. It's very hot in my room here. Okay.
He's calculating his next move through his entire ordeal. And he tells Randall he'll never surrender, and the crestfallen part. Ew, he wants to see his back. We already talked about that. Blah, blah, blah. The Jamie Marley fight is epic. Absolutely epic.
Oh my god, totally.
Totally. And I knew, like, the whole, like, Randall, I couldn't wait till he came to and realized that Marley's, like, trying to kill Jamie. And that's, again, just proving my point. He never wants Jamie to die. Ever. He in his sick, twisted way, he, like, loves Jamie.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and that's true too. But I don't think that. It's an interesting thought. We've discussed, does he have the power to stop the execution altogether? And we've come to the conclusion that no, he probably does not. Will he
You've
be
come to the conclusion? I don't know that I've come to that conclusion.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does. How would he feel if Jamie were to die?
He's not letting Jamie die. Did he or did he not have the power to ride up on his horse and say, stop the execution?
He had the power to stop it for 48 hours because I need to interrogate the prisoner further. But there's a death warrant. I mean, I don't know how he...
And then after that, you say, oh, I need to interrogate him even further.
I need to bring him back to my estate and interrogate him.
Of interrogation. Done.
All right. Move on, because I don't even know how long we are. Oh, yes, I know. We're at an hour right now.
Claire hearing Jamie scream while Randall hits his hand. Put your hand out on the table. You want to open up your hand. That just was like,
that was all, I mean, honestly, like, fast forward through all of this because, like, it was right out of the book. And it was...
Loved Blackjack Randall reprimanding Jamie, like, why do you make me do this to you? It was like a sickeningly abusive parent abusing a child. Mm-hmm. It was just reprimanding it. It was just awful.
Mm-hmm. And this is where I came into the question of... And it's all, again, this is all in the book. I don't remember how explicitly it's described in the book, and I think that it's a little jumbled because I think the time frame is, I think we hear about it after the fact, maybe.
I don't think there was any junk grabbing.
Oh my god, the junk grabbing, we skipped over that, and that was so creepy. Oh my god, I don't think there was in the book. I mean, there's whatever.
But what did he say? I will not give in to...
my base desires? Was that it?
I wrote it down. Listen. I will not give in to something passion. Was it coarse? Cross? I will not... What? No, it was coarse. I will not give in to coarse passion.
I don't know. You're the one that watched it 3 times. I don't know.
Cross, coarse, I've stopped it. I've rewound it. I don't know what he's saying there, but regardless, he's basically saying, no, I'm not going to just do this because it feels good. I'm going to wait, and we're going to have our romantic I'm going to give Jamie Fraser wine and flowers. Okay?
All right, but wait, because I want to talk about this a little bit, and we're already at an hour. I can't believe we were talking about
Claire throwing the key outside was Brill's.
Oh, you mean the door crap?
Yes.
No, was this, like, did we need to see all of it? That's what I just...
Did we need to see all of what? I didn't think we really saw much.
Okay. The movie I keep coming back to, I don't know, did you ever see this movie, Casualties of War? It's with Michael J. Fox and Sean Penn, and it's, like, about Vietnam and stuff.
I remember that from years ago, but I don't remember.
Well, it always sticks to my memory because it's one of these movies that, like, I saw, and I guess it's, a good story or whatever, but it's like, it's so violent. And it's not even like it's like, what's the word? Pointless violence or whatever, but it's one of these things that after a while you're just like, this is not entertaining. Like, I mean, I watch film and television, and I don't always expect to, like, be laughing and be, joking and whatever, but, like, that kind of brutality is really hard to watch. And after a while, it just becomes, like, is it worth it? And that's just the debate I thought of. I think in the end, it probably was worth it because I think that the payoff is going to come later. And I think maybe we had to see this just to see...
brutality? The hand? But it happened in the book.
I'm not saying that. Like, I mean... I don't remember in the book, like, if we were subjected to, and then, he hit his hand, he hit the first strike, came down, and Jamie writhed in pain. Because I don't think Claire was there when this happened. I think it's basically that she comes in, he's got the hand here, she's like, oh my God, your hand. He's like, yeah, Randall, he got on the wrong end of Randall's hammer. Now, she is there when Randall does the nail. I mean, there was a point where at one point where I was just like, this isn't entertaining to watch this. And I don't know that that's a bad thing.
No, it's not supposed to be I mean, it's they're telling a story.
Yeah, I know, but do you know what I mean? Like it was almost too brutal to watch.
I want to say it didn't bother me. Clearly, it bothered the out of me, but it didn't. You can say the F word. I've said it twice already. Dad might be watching.
Oh yeah, as if
I
couldn't find YouTube if he tried.
I just, it was in the book. I expect it. The hand was a big deal. The hand is a big deal. I expected the hand. So
and they got the finger right and everything. Did you see that? It was the fourth finger that was all like whacked
and not
out.
only that, I was like, oh my God, it was like torn like down to here.
I know. Ugh. All right.
I felt it was important, so I was.
It is. I mean, that's the thing.
Okay,
Maybe it was so violent and brutal. I mean, you've rarely seen shit like this on TV. Like, you've rarely seen, I was thinking like Red Wedding. Okay, Red Wedding is pretty brutal, but I don't know. This is like right up there, if not like leapfrogging over the Red Wedding.
You know what?
Or something like that.
I felt like we needed to see it. It was in the book. I was happy it was there. Okay, so Claire finds Jamie. He's laying in the huge heap. Because I was thinking to myself, oh God, he's just like a maimed horse. He's just like a big, huge lump laying there like a maimed horse. Because then I thought of Jamie and the horses, and oh my God. Dinafash Sassenach killed me. There's Jamie being sexy in the midst of all this craziness. Absolutely loved it when she called him a beast and he was like, oh, you can do better than that. And she was like, you fucking sadistic bastard.
How about when the redcoats come up? Because I'm trying to move this along a little bit. How about when did I skip over anything important?
I was just about to say she was smart to try to appeal to the soldiers, but I felt like she could have said more.
See, there, I would have been like, well, first of all, I would have been screaming my lungs out, although I guess that probably would have gotten her, like, punched or, like, felt up even more by Marley. Ew, 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 ew.
See, now that's the next, you lead because you're just, like, jumping to where all of my stuff.
All right, go. Now you go.
The next line I have is Marley feeling up Claire was so disgusting, I didn't know what to do with myself. They went there with that scene.
It was gross.
But again, I thought, I'm not going to say it was necessary, but I thought it was interesting and well done. And necessary in that it showed you just how vile these people and this place.
No, it was gross. It didn't bother me. I mean, I wasn't like, I was offended because it was gross, but...
What'd you think about Claire pushing both Marley and Randall?
Like, it was awesome. It was awesome.
But does she really have that kind of strength that all of a sudden...
Well, I mean, in this kind of a situation, of course you're gonna do whatever it takes. You have adrenaline is flowing. Claire could have moved 10 cars.
Loved Jamie killing Marley. But then again, I was sort of watching this going, all right, the way this is playing out, it looks like somebody could have grabbed Randall at this point. Like, there were a few times that I was like, oh, come on, you can't grab him. The two of you can't, you know what I mean? But I know Jamie's hand is all, and he's like...
like, two of them. Like Claire and, like, Jamie, with, like, one hand and about to pass out.
Did you not just say that Claire, with the adrenaline, was able to push both Marley and Randall, like, into the wall?
Yeah, she was, but I don't think that she and Jamie were going to take them down.
Marley's dead, and now we just have Claire and Jamie.
I gotta say, that rock and roll. That, like, when Jamie took him out with one hand and a stick, like, he is the man. He is the man.
And I kept thinking to myself, I took a self-defense course once, and I was sitting there saying, he's like got her at the throat or whatever. I'm like, shove your fingers in his eyes.
Yeah, right? Like,
I am the total Jamie Lee Curtis, like horror movie person. Like, fight to the death.
Claire needs, yeah. She needs to take some self-defense.
How'd you, like, lay your hand on the table? No, the ruined one. That totally killed me. And her screaming, no, don't do it, and all silence, and blah, 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 blah.
The whole thing was just...
And here we go, so Christ-like. Have we not discussed the Christ-like things that have gone on in the show, and now...
with the nail.
Hammering.
Oh, yeah.
A nail.
Yep. I always thought that from the book, too, that was very Christ-like.
I was like, oh my God. When I'm watching this, I'm like, I don't believe that I'm watching this happen.
Now, as she's leaving, and I have to say this, there's a line that I hate to say, like, you know, they didn't do it from the book, but there's something he says to her as she's leaving. He's like, you need to leave now. But then he says something.
In the book or in the show?
In the book. That he didn't say in the show.
I thought there was more talking between the two of them before.
Well, because I think it's longer when she comes in and finds him, that they do talk a little more, and he, you know, tells her, like, what happened with the hand and whatever.
Right.
But he says something that, like, is like, I know you can do what needs to be done, or something that I almost took to be some sort of a message or a code, or, you know, I should find it in the book.
Code to whom?
What?
Code to whom?
Oh, I don't know, like to her, or I don't know. I have to look it up in the book. But it was like he said something. I'm not sure what it was that he didn't say here, and I kind of missed it, even though I can't think of what it was. So maybe I could miss it that much. Wait, tell like what happens next, and I'll look.
Tell what happens next. What?
Keep going. I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. Let me see where I am. See, now you don't want to talk about the details. I loved the whole, when he kissed him.
Oh!
And the lingering string of spit.
Oh!
I thought it was fantastic.
Oh!
Done so well. I loved that Jamie didn't want her to see and said, get her out of here.
Yeah, and that's like in the book, too.
And when she got away... And she's crying. The tears were rolling down. When she says, I can't leave you. I thought it was just beautiful.
The line was, he will let you go because he thinks you are helpless. I know you are not.
I'm sorry, but you look like the lectern at church.
Let us pray. Oh, I have to go back all the way to the beginning. I'm sorry, but like when Macrana, was it not Macrana? Macquarie, when they pushed him off and Jamie does this.
Oh,
I know, right? So now that's the line. What I just said is the line in the book. That's like really the last thing that he says to her. And to me, I always took that as like, you know, do what needs to be done.
What needs to be done? You just said it like 10 minutes ago.
You will find a way, Claire.
But you just to do what? Live her own life or get him out?
Maybe both, whatever.
But you just said, who does he think is coming for him?
Because before she showed up. Of course he doesn't think anyone's coming for him until he actually sees her.
So you're saying that now that she's there, he thinks that she can bust him out.
Maybe. But in the book, not in this. In this, he's screwed.
I agree with you in that. In the book, I felt like there was more hope. There was definitely more, like, she left, but, you knew that he maybe still thought she's kind of come back for me or something. You know what I mean? She can pull this. Mm-hmm. She can do it. But in the show, I was like, he's done.
Yes. And I think that's exactly the point.
He's seeing her as a helpless female at this point, kind of. And what did you think about that? I felt that Claire was very weepy, and there wasn't a whole lot of...
Well, I think she was weepy in this part because they both knew that he was screwed. I mean, there was nothing they could do.
It's Claire Fraser. There's always something you can do.
Right. But I mean, like, I think, we don't see that she's like that in the book, but I would think that she is. I mean, when he's nailing Jamie's freaking hand to the table, of course they're like that. No, I mean, maybe that's why, like, just watching all of this, it was hard. It was infinitely harder for me to watch all of this than it was to read all of this. Like, a bajillion times harder. I mean, do you agree?
Yeah, because, again, you don't have the Sookie Stackhouse element of, Claire, I'll get it done.
Well, no. I mean, I just, like, something that you see in your mind. I mean, it was worse than anything I would see in my mind. It was because maybe you don't even let your mind go there when you're reading that part.
To me, it was more concentrated on the show. It went on and on and on. We had a reprieve in spots in the book, but in the show, it's an hour, so it's all right there in front of your face, happening, boom, boom.
And we don't see the hand; we just hear about it secondhand.
Right,
secondhand. Get it?
Okay, so you want to move this along, which I agree. So she tells him she's a witch. He takes her out. She tells him Jamie says, "Get her out of here safely." How'd you like when he comes back and he says, "You got her out safe," and he says, "You have my word." But she tells him she's a witch. She tells him the hour of the date of his death.
It's just like so awesome.
And then he put
Jonathan, Wolvertine.
Yeah.
And I just watched his eyes, and his eyes are like.
Yeah, he was freaked out.
Yeah.
And it's kind of fun to see the freakiest man on earth be freaked out.
I know.
And she pushes him out. He pushes her out that door, that trap door.
And she lands right next to Macquarie.
Well, she lands next to Macquarie after 10 minutes of boom, 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 boom. I was like, all I could think of was Eddie Murphy. Like I'm halfway down.
That was like, she turned into cartoon Claire for a little while. Because, like, I'm sorry. That was like a 30-foot drop.
Oh my God. I was like, how is she alive right now? Let alone, okay, I really have to talk about, it was one of those things that I totally 1,000% understood that they couldn't do it as the way they did in the book, aka Sookie Stackhouse. The wolves not being anywhere near the hole.
Oh my God. My God.
Wolves, I was so appreciative that they gave us the wolves howling out in the woods. I thought it was awesome.
See, now, I have written down here, because I started hearing the wolves, and I've written down, please don't let there be wolves.
Are you thinking of, like, Breaking Dawn?
No, I'm thinking of the one piece of this, the wonderful, brilliant book that is about as sucky as they come, and we didn't get it in the TV show, thank God. And for all of you, like, if you don't want to hear something that would have already happened in the book at this point, Claire takes down a wolf with her bare hands. It's like, for all of you who were like, this thing of singing Claire is all like kind of unreal and dumb, and they would never really do that. Again, let me say, Claire takes down a wolf with her bare hands.
Okay. Sookie Stackhouse.
When the hell does Sookie Stackhouse take down a wolf with her bare hands?
My point is, it's all ridiculousness, but it's all in good fun. You know what I mean? Taking down the wolf was ridiculousness. It was complete. Where are you going now? Oh, God.
Sorry, hold on.
It was. I am totally in agreement with you, so I don't know why you're going to find proof of something.
No, shut up. Oh my God. Who is the one that leaves the video all the time and who never leaves the video except for tonight when I had to close the door? Who? My God. You know, sadistic, douchey behavior puts you in a foul mood. It makes you very persnickety.
I
use that in a sentence.
I admit that sadistic douchey behavior makes me persnickety.
It totally does. Totally. I don't even remember the word you were going to use all the time, but
I'm totally agreeing with you. I was glad that they didn't have wolves at the top of that ravine.
But I heard them all howling, and I was like, "Oh no, they're going to do it! No."
I felt like we traded Taryn McQuarrie for the wolves.
I'll take that trade. All right, moving on.
It would have been ridiculous, but I did love the wolves howling when she got out there.
Agreed.
And Angus yelling at her like, "Shut the up!"
We have to go back into the Jamie cell for one more thing, and that is to talk about what the F when Blackjack pulls out like the Jolly Green Giant scissors.
I said that to Tom. I went, "What was that?" And he was like, "I think it was a knife."
No, it's scissors, but it's like scissors for a giant. It's like scissors that are like this big. It's like chainsaw scissors.
And you know what else?
And he cut Jamie's good shirt.
If you had those, yeah, and he already lost one.
You stupid redcoats already took one of them.
He already lost one at the wheel. Okay, so wait. If you've got those like Mongo scissors, why did it take him 15 minutes to cut the shirt open?
Oh my God!
Shouldn't it have been one little?
I know, right? Right? And you could, a knife would probably work a lot faster, but I think he's not. He's taking his time about it, as his boy toy Jamie is wont to say. Okay. Moving on.
Okay, so I'm back to Jamie's cell now. She's away safe. You have my word, and I have you lying piece of filth. I just wanted to. Him touching Jamie's back was almost as disturbing as the kiss with all that spittle.
That's where I left off with my second viewing, but I mean, I don't know that much more happens besides like they're gonna get busy. Like,
how does it feel to be alive and wear so much dead flesh? Did that line not just kill you?
It's just creepy.
I was very taken by the dialogue in this episode. So that I could stop at every single thing that Randall said and
I'm
just
actually pouring a little more.
His lips on Jamie's back.
So gross.
Oh God.
So gross. I just at that point I was just like, I gotta get it out of this.
Wait. Wait. I have the worst thing I heard in this entire episode that will give me nightmares tonight. Shall we begin?
Oh! Because all of that was just foreplay.
And Jamie's face when he said it.
But you know what? I gotta say this too. In some ways, do you think that what is to come could be worse or creepier than the whole, at the very start with the hand, when he was holding Jamie against him? Because I'm sorry, that was just gross and creepy and awesome and awful.
Yes, and I'll tell you why.
It's gonna be worse, yes.
Diana, you said you didn't see it. Diana posted today, and I can't remember exactly what she said, but she alluded to the fact that if you think you're done after 15, if you think, oh, good, we're done, they didn't show it, which is exactly what I thought, you've got another thing coming.
All right.
So he is going to... I think what they'll do is get him out of there, and then I could be wrong, but I think they'll, in the book, wasn't it more like flashbacky, like he explained to Claire what had happened to him?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's basically, we're going to see snippets.
Right, and I think that they've stuck very, very closely to the chronological structure of the book for this part. So I think that's what we're going to see too.
How did you... I wish I had a prop around here to use, but I don't. How did you like... Here, I'm going to use my up bracelet.
Mm-hmm.
How did you like... Where did you get...
Oh, wait, all right. Well, let's first, all right, so we meet Macquarie, and Macrana. He's a friend of the clans, and, whatever.
Everyone saw it, so they know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Where did you...
Maybe they didn't. So, what did you think of Macrana? I thought he would be a little gruffer, a little bigger.
I thought he, in my mind,
older.
He was older, and he was more distinguished. He looked like a wealthy... Wasn't he the laird?
Yeah, he was kind of rich in my head.
Wasn't he the laird?
Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe a laird. But no, all I gotta say is, I was just like, didn't we see this last week? It made me, not get the whole bracelets thing even more. The whole bracelets thing, was that in the book? I mean, I think you know that Murtaugh had a thing for Ellen. Ellen must have just been pooping rainbows because, good Lord. I mean, was there somebody that didn't, totally love her? I mean...
Tom turned to me at that point and went, boy, that Ellen Mackenzie, she must have been a real licker or something.
I mean, no lie.
But did you find it amusing that she gives him pearls and he's like, are these Ellen Mackenzie bracelets?
Yes! It was stupid. It was real. That was really dumb.
I'm was it the clasp that gave it away?
No. For me, it was these are the exact line. Did last week's script get mixed up with this week?
And she said, I want you to help me get my husband back again.
No. I mean, what I'm saying is...
Yes,
she did. Yes, she did. But what I'm saying is, I don't get, the bracelets thing was weird to me because I knew it was coming. I knew the pearls were coming, and the connection was going to be made to the pearls by Macrana. I don't remember in the book if there were bracelets as well with Murtaugh and that whole connection. I don't think there were. I think they added those. But why in the hell would they add this? Would they do this whole jewelry mysteriously given to a child of Ellen Mackenzie by a mysterious person? We're not going to tell you, and you find out about them 2 weeks in a row.
I'm thinking it was because they were afraid the audience was going to say, why is this guy going to give these people his cattle?
I know, I get that. Then why do the bracelets? That's what I said. That's what I mean. When they were ugly-ass bracelets.
Because they had to let you know that Murtaugh had a thing for her. Because they had to let you know that how deeply he felt for Jamie. That Jamie was like his own son.
But why couldn't they do that without bracelets?
They
had a perfect intro last week. Claire goes,
Why couldn't they have gotten some Alex and Ani bracelets or something and done something attractive?
Well, that's true too. But no, Claire was like, yo, what do you know about love? And he's like, yeah, you know what? I'll tell you, girlfriend. I know a lot about love. And I mean, Murtaugh could have just told that story and moved us without ugly ass bracelets that are gonna then be repeated line for line the next week, and just be strange and dumb. I don't know. That was just weird.
I don't know, but I'm still laughing that, what was the guy's name? Marcus McCarrick or something?
Macrana.
Why exactly is he thinking about Ellen's pearls on a daily basis?
He's not. He just happened to see them.
He's like, oh, I've thought of those pearls around her bonny neck so often. And I'm like, really? You gave her the pearls 20 years ago, and you think about them around her bonny neck.
She is his long lost love. His love. Now I put that Ellen got around.
Oh boy. And then I have again, if you'd help me get my husband back, and then in all caps I'm like, oh my god, again! She said it again! And Angus saying, an open door is nay a plan, lass. I wanted to punch him in the face. At least she's trying. At least she's trying to come up with something. She did well leaving the key or leaving the lock, leaving it unlocked.
So he has some cattle missing. Rupert and Angus are like, cattle? There's a plan there.
And
Gather
there we
round,
go.
all. I'll tell you about it.
And there we
Fade
go.
to black. And that's it. That's the episode.
And this is the long-ass video for the episode.
I know, really. That's what happens when you have 4 pages of notes. FYI. So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to even say, like, this was a great episode. This was an awful episode. It was a great episode that was awful to watch. How's that?
Especially when you watched it 3 times.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I can watch it again. It's yeah. But, I mean, such good acting. And I can, it's funny. We had a little bit of an exclusive from Tobias when we met him on the red carpet. And we probably already told this exclusive like 70,000 times in these videos. But one thing we asked him was, when you and Sam were filming these scenes, were you able to kind of like put it down at the end of the day and be like, yeah, meet you at the pub at like 20 o'clock or whatever? And he was like, yeah, not really. No, we really didn't like talk much those 10 days or whatever it was. We really just kind of like went our separate ways. And you can totally see why. I mean, like, filming those scenes must have been just really nuts.
You would leave that set and either be like, I need a drink or I need my bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I can
have to go to places that, like, and particularly him. Like, I mean, like Sam, I think to a certain degree it's a lot of physicality for him. And, you put him in the makeup and you put him in all the dirt and you, like, put the hand stuff all over the place. And, maybe it's easier for him to get to the place where he needs to get. But Tobias just, like, needs to get to this creepy, gross place that, like, nobody ever goes, And, I'm
thinking it's not that hard.
What, for him or for anybody?
Yeah, no, for Tobias. Something about his Christmas time tweets.
All right. What else? Any last minute thoughts? I feel like we're not our usual funny selves, but this isn't like that episode, Yeah. Although we have been rambling for an hour and 33 minutes, so whatever.
I just want to say that I really, truly don't think there's anyone on the planet who could have done Jamie Fraser the way that Sam Heughan is doing it. I think he's just perfect. Mm-hmm. He is the closest thing to what was going on in my mind while reading these books I think that you're ever going to find. Mm-hmm. Looks-wise, acting-wise, there's not been one time, not one, that I've gone, oh, come on, that's not Jamie. Not once. Mm-hmm. It's uncanny. It's
one more episode. I know.
And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be an easy episode, I'm going to tell you right now.
I know.
And we have 2 weeks.
I know. I'm really starting to and there's a lot that they have to get in that last episode. I'm really starting to wonder how the season is going to end.
I don't know that you're going to be too happy because I think something that you really liked from that portion of the book is probably going to be very skimmed over.
Do you like it too?
No.
Oh, I know what you mean. No, I think I'm going to get. Well, I'll tell you after when we do that episode.
I did not like it. You were like gaga over it.
It was my favorite part. Yes, agreed. I don't know. I just don't know. I was going to say something and now I totally forgot. Oh, do you think, I'm in the middle of listening to our friends Outlander Cast, their most recent episode, Blake and Mary. And they were talking about the Emmy possibility for Outlander.
Oh, I was looking
at chill with the Emmys, don't get your expectations up because there's lots of great shows that don't get nominated. And they're right to a certain degree. I mean, is it going to get nominated for best show? No.
Tracy, the odds, there's a site you can look up and it shows all their odds. They're like 100 to 1 or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. What is that? I've never even seen it. Like, well, what about individual people? Like, I would say Katrina Balfe has a decent shot at an Emmy. I would say...
And not Tobias Menzies?
Well, they slot them, right? It's not like you choose where to put him, because honestly, I would be like, is he best actor or best featured actor? I don't really.
They had him in the page I saw listed as best supporting actor.
Do they have stuff in like Variety and stuff like now, like the For Your Consideration ads yet?
Oh, I don't think so.
Because that's where you would look and say.
You'll have to see I'll send you the page that I found. It was literally like this odds, like betting.
The only reason I would say Katrina over Tobias is that she is in almost every scene. You know that it really. I mean, even though it's not really her viewpoint anymore, fully, it is, and so. That's the reason why I would say maybe Katrina, and then I think they are absolutely eligible and probable for a lot of like technical awards. You know, like Terry's costumes. I can't imagine cinematography. Are you kidding? Bear McCreary's music. Oh, I mean, like I would fully expect nominations for that. Absolutely, but the sexy ones, the sexy nominations. You know, we can hope. A girl can dream.
I'm gonna be ticked if I want Katrina, Sam, and Tobias all nominated. I'm gonna be ticked if one of them is nominated and the other two aren't, or you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I don't agree. I think honestly, if Katrina were to be nominated, I would be okay with that, and the other two.
But aren't you the one who's always saying it's their body of work? It's their body of work.
Well, yeah, when they've done like 34 films, when they're like, you know...
Well, hasn't Tobias done a lot more than Katrina?
Not enough for a body of work Emmy. Are you kidding? No. No, I mean, you give a body of work Emmy to like Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Or like, you know, Michael J. Fox. Like, think of somebody we talked about before. Like, you know, somebody who's like had... like 20 years of success in the industry or in that genre. I mean, Tobias Menzies, I gotta say, like, I mean, this is being a realist here. You know, we love these people and we know who they are clearly and whatever, but like, if you drop Tobias Menzies in like my town and, you know, sent him off to the Starbucks, I don't know how many people would know who he was. Like, what do you think? Do you agree?
Don't forget about Red Wedding. He was in Game of Thrones.
Honest to God, Carol, honest to God, if I didn't know him as Blackjack Randall, like from the show,
okay,
and I saw him in Starbucks, I would no more recognize him from the Red Wedding than I would recognize like third, you know, dude from the left as an extra.
You didn't watch Rome.
True.
See, I watched Rome. So the second he showed up on Game of Thrones, I went, oh. And then the second I found out he was going to be an Outlander, I was like, oh my God. So to me, and that's all, you know, these both Rome and Game of Thrones are both HBO, right? So I don't know. I just see it as like he's done a lot.
Do you know what I mean? Like I think, like point being, like I would say with any of them, I would say if Sam Yoon came over to my house, I'd be like, hey Sam, what's up? Want to go to Starbucks? And he'd be like, okay. And I don't honestly know if when we got to Starbucks, like, there would be like, oh my God, it's Jamie Fraser! Or if it would be like, you know, what can I get you?
No, but it's not really public opinion that's going to get them an Emmy nomination, you know?
Right. But it helps.
Hey, listen, I just said equally I want to see all three of them nominated.
Yeah, it would be nice. I don't think it'll happen, but, you know, whatever. All right, it is late, and we are now at an hour and 40, and so we're going to sign off, you guys. Visit us on the blog, myoutlanderpurgatory.com. Like us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook, because, you know, we could always use the likes. We're on Twitter at My Outlander Purg. We have a YouTube channel. Hopefully we'll be on iTunes sooner than later. And that's it. You won't see us for 2 weeks. We're going to take this weekend off because, Outlander's not on and it's Memorial Day and whatever. But then we'll be back for the last episode. So have a great week. Are you going to say goodbye, Carol?
Bye, Carol.